Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Xbox Nation. Crap Gamer here with you, and we've got a full cast of characters. We've got Iron Wolf, we've got Too Much Food, we've got Nancy, the Titanfall princess, and the Mooch. I know all those Mooch maniacs are going to be like, "Where's Mooch?" And
They're here. They're all
he's
here, crap.
yeah, they're. I know, dude. The Mooch maniacs, they're crazy, man. They are. You were the first one to get a video game made about you. That's crazy, in my
That is
opinion.
wild. That is pretty nuts.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely insane, and we actually started only about 15, 16 minutes late today, so that's pretty good for us.
Hey, we're early.
Yeah, we're a little bit early, and what's interesting was I did a like an impromptu afternoon podcast yesterday with Next Gen.
That was a good video.
Yeah, did you? Yeah, it was like, and
That was a good podcast.
yeah, he had to leave, and I was like, well, you know what? I haven't done a question and answer video in a while, and I sat there an extra hour just answering people's questions. It was actually pretty good till my throat was like sore. I was like, damn, I can't
You know
talk
what it is,
anymore.
crap? When you do those, I got to tell you, just from being a fan as well, like I'll hit the video. I don't look at how long it is, but usually a day when I realize you may go 20 minutes, 30, and you actually say, we're going to go about 20, 30 minutes here or something like that. You said you gave a short time in the beginning. So then when Next Gen was like, all right, he gave like a pre-warning. He's like, I got to go, and then he left. And then I just hit my finger on the phone. You see how much time was left? I was like, an hour?
Yeah.
I thought maybe you just left the mic running. I said, how the hell?
I was gonna go, but I was like, "Hey, do you guys got any questions?" I haven't done that in a while, and I hit
That was
like
a good idea.
20,000. Yeah, and I actually like interacting with the fans and stuff. It's really cool because I'm actually really thankful for all of them. You know what I mean? It's like it's not just for me, but like for everybody. Like the community as a whole is really good. I'm really proud of like how far a lot of the and it spawns new people like Wrath, and you have like Nancy, and then Iron Wolf is doing good, and you Mooch, your channel sprung up and is doing really good now, and Next Gen's about to come back in full force once his strike comes up on the 12th. So yeah, I mean, look, people all try to keep us down or whatever, but we keep going, and it is what it is because it's just about gaming and fun, and that's what it's all about. And
I tell you, and we don't give you enough credit too, crap. I mean, you're one of the first guys to actually do it too. I mean, I always in my videos make sure that when we get into that kind of subject, I like to pave the way and let everyone know that Next Gen really did put his feet in the sand and take a stand for a lot of us. And I'll tell you, a lot of the Xbox channels are growing. There's
Yeah, he really did. I agree with that, Mooch.
He
I agree
did.
with that.
I call Next Gen the Godfather. I come from an 100% Italian guy. You can't get a better name as far as I'm the nickname in Italians. That's what it is. But I mean, like you got GKB, you've got PTK Blam, you've got a lot of Xbox channels that have popped up.
Yes, Southbounds. I agree. Yeah.
PXR. I mean, it's like this is great, and some people come out and wave the flag and say, hey, we are Xbox. Some people don't wave the flag, but they still, you could tell you're definitely welcome as an Xbox fan there, and that's kind of neat. So, I mean, our community's growing, and I never misdirect X with Iron Wolf show. I try to catch everyone. I don't always go into the comment section or always go into the live chat, but I always try to catch a little bit of everybody's because, like, it's healthy, man, and we do got to kind of stick together because, like, we are fighting an uphill battle, even with all the community growing that it is.
Yeah.
It's just, fighting IGN and Kotaku and the polygons of the world.
Just imagine the how it was early on. Like I said, anybody that goes back and watches my earlier stuff, it was just like very white bread. I was trying, even though I was always an Xbox fan, I was just pretty straight-laced even, I mean? I did pretty much, if I did an Xbox review, then I did a PlayStation or Wii, you know what I'm saying? So I kept it, and then I was just like, let me do an opinion video. Because this was before I realized that the whole internet was outraged at Xbox One, right? They had showed off Killer Instinct, and this was after their 2013 E3, which was 100% dedicated to games. And I was like, man, that Killer Instinct, it's back. I was like, Dead Rising 3, oh, there's 1,000 zombies on the screen. This is amazing. Rise, holy shit, that game looks fucking amazing. Forza 5, I love Forza. I mean, I was Titanfall, holy shit. I was just flipping out. I was like, games. Right. They showed off the Sunset Overdrive stuff. It was just amazing. I was like, wow, I put my money down on it. I went right from my house to GameStop, put my $100 down on my Xbox One literally 10 minutes after their E3 conference because of that, and I did a video about it, and I think thousands of people were like, oh my god, you suck, kill yourself, drink bleach, do this, do that, you know what I mean? And I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm just getting it. They're like, why are you going to get that? I'm like, did you not hear the video? Because of the games they showed. I don't give a shit about anything else.
Right.
All my consoles have been hooked up to the internet since the Dreamcast. you know. None of that stuff is really relevant to me, you know, and nobody could grasp that. So I got a lot of hate. People would email me and all this kind of weirdo stuff, you know what I mean? But then now, you know, it's like it's pretty
How
even
could
out.
anybody hate Crap Gamer? Come on now.
Exactly, Nance. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you know, I'm an acquired taste, I guess. You know, people get caught up. People get caught up with.
You know what it is, crap. You didn't jump on the bandwagon. You know,
That's
you stuck
right.
to your guns. You stayed in your lane.
Yep.
And I saw your earlier videos when you're giving your opinion piece on the Xbox One, and I saw like 900 dislikes on them.
Yeah.
Just for liking a console, and that's just
Exactly, and that's what it was. And I gave my own opinion. And here's the thing: people that go, "Well, you only like the Xbox because that gets you views." Here's the thing: I could have went pro PS4 and jumped on the hate train of the Xbox One and probably got a lot more subscribers and a lot more things. But I'd be fake as shit then. You know what I mean? I'd be like one of those PC fanboys that hates on Xbox for no reason other than it gets hits. And there's lots of them, and you guys know who you are. You know, these guys that talk about consoles that don't even own them or that don't play them, they're just PC guys. You know what I mean?
Love, you know, but speaking of that, and it's not even on the agenda tonight, but let's just, while you brought it up, my favorite YouTuber, you know, Mr. PC Flip Flopper, he made another video that came out and told everybody to not buy the Division on PC because of hackers. And he's like, I know that everyone says that's the stigma, that PC has hackers, and then he starts to defend it, and I'm like, no, asshole. Guys, it does have hackers, guys. Okay,
yes,
it does.
Yes.
Why would you want to play on PC? Listen, anybody who has a job, or even if you don't have a job, you have a PC at your house and you go to it to email, you pay your bills on it. I don't understand who the hell wants to make themselves an adult beverage, have a beer, hang out, crunched over your desk playing on a mouse and keyboard. I can't fathom that being a good time. I just can't fathom that being a good time. And you know, they say, oh, different strokes for different folks. That's bullshit, because to be honest with you, you can't tell me. Everybody wants to come home, sit on the couch, put their feet up on the coffee table, have a drink, bullshit, have the controller. Like, it's just, and I know Xbox has kind of merged that a little bit with the Xbox app. I think that's a really nice function and feature. But at the same time, it's still not convenient enough to say that I'm relaxing or enjoying myself. I feel like I'm at work, you know, hunched over a computer. I mean, it's I don't understand all that. But then
it's not comfortable at all. Yeah,
No.
at least with the Xbox, you can stick your feet up. You can, you know, do whatever. You're sitting at a chair.
Yeah,
you
I mean, the other point with the PC that kills me, though, Nance, is just like it's like there are hackers. There's a lot of people that ruin the game for you. So why, myself personally, I don't get that. I like to win on my own merit. I don't want to I don't want free, unlimited ammo in a game or this and that. I mean, we're not 6 years old anymore where we needed the Game Genie and goofed off and all this other shit. Like, that's fun when you're a kid.
That's not even showing that you could play a game. That's just, okay, I got an unlimited now. You don't have to look for nothing. You don't have to be strategic. You don't have to watch the shots you make. You don't have to, you know, aim better. Oh, let me just blow all my bullets because I have unlimited. That's not gaming to me.
See, that's why we don't have Madden, FIFA, you know, NBA Live. We don't have them on PC. They don't exist.
That's right.
PC, you know what they could possibly do? They could create a mod where your player could be flying across the screen. Like, you don't need that. That's why I prefer a closed environment. You know, when you're playing on consoles, people, you know, they cannot hack anything.
Well, you know,
hopefully not yet, but eventually, probably on PS4 they will.
Oh, absolutely. That's around the corner. But I mean,
they've been hacking onto the PS4 already in Brazil, right? As far as I've heard. So I don't know.
Use a dongle or whatever. I remember when the PS3 got hacked, a friend of mine, a gaming friend of mine, went and bought like a 5 terabyte hard drive because you didn't need the actual games to run the hacks. You just installed the games from torrent sites and you could play them on your PS3.
Right.
And that's what they did. And there was all kinds of mods and stuff. I remember Call of Duty. A lot of people running around in hacked lobbies and things like that. It was pretty. Yeah,
they were running around invisible with unlimited ammo, and if you got lucky and shot them, they wouldn't die.
For hacks, go here, www.hacksmore, and all. You know, it was really bad. So, you know, it was kind of unfortunate. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, is because on this podcast and also on Big Gamer Small Talk, we've all talked about Microsoft's kind of lack of marketing direction lately, and how they need to market more. They came out with a new ad today. Basically, it says Xbox One, the only console to get the top 10 best-selling console games. The only way you can get that is on Xbox One, because not all those games are on PS4. So I think that was brilliant. They got out there. They got the word out there.
Finally.
Well, you know what? They had to wait for the quarterly reports.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, yeah.
And me and Mooch guessed that. We go, well, they could be waiting. They're trying to have a positive income with the last quarterly reports, and they did. Everything looked good, and now, time to spend a little bit more. It looks like they might have the Mirror's Edge marketing rights. They have the Division marketing rights.
And late breaking here, crap. I don't know if it's real or not, but I always trust when Jamie sends out. Jamie Moran, shout out to Jamie. He just sent this out. Looks like Team Coco, Conan O'Brien, they're doing a
Doom. I saw
Doom
it. They're
Clueless Gamer.
Clueless Gamer. Yeah.
That's a big thing. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Doom may not be something to the new gamers that are younger coming up, but Doom was huge. You're going to get a lot of the PC guys, a lot of those type of people that have Xbox Ones maybe reach out and grab it. I don't know if the PC guys will come back over, but that's a big title. I think that's a good. I think that's a good get. That probably didn't cost them a lot of money, and it's good advertising.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's picking your spots. I mean, who knows what Fallout 4
Well,
did?
it kind of makes sense because Bethesda, they're actually publishing the game and they have a great relationship with Microsoft, so it makes sense for them to partner up with Doom, and I think it's big. And we all know shooters play best on Xbox, and that's a fact.
And not just that, like there's a wider appeal for making games on Xbox, because if they so happen want to join the train that everybody else is on, where they make a game on Xbox and then later down the road they want to make it for Windows 10 on your PC, they can, because they're almost essentially one and the same now, and they have a wider market appeal. They have a broader audience. So the smart move to reach more gamers is to go with Microsoft.
Yeah. What was interesting about the ad was it basically covered all the things that they needed to cover, the exclusives, the timed exclusives, the big third-party games that people don't, because maybe Sony markets so much or whatever that people maybe wouldn't think was on the Xbox. Push the Division hard, because that's going to be huge. People are abandoning Destiny. I mean, Bungie came out today and posted an article. Why aren't you playing Destiny? You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no content coming out for that, and I find it hilarious, because think about it. They have the third party promotional rights and marketing rights and all that stuff, but what are they marketing? They have nothing to market until September.
Yeah. Well, no, September. They're not
Yeah.
they're not going to do a Destiny 2 this year. It's getting delayed. There's a new CEO of Bungie. They brought in another developer, High Moon Studios, to kind of help because it's so fractured there. It's not a good sign, and I kind of like the game. I played it, but again, I haven't been playing it this whole past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I've just started picking it up again, and it's fun. But once I'm through with that content, will it be? You know what I mean? They're going to need. I think that the way that they're doing things, I guess people are kind of upset with the microtransactions and the grind and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little bit interesting to see what will happen. But what's even more interesting is Sony looks like they probably won't. If our guess is right, they aren't going to have that big AAA game for the winter this year. And they're not going to have a Battlefront to slap a sticker on. They're not going to have. They will have Call of Duty, but they're not going to have an Assassin's Creed. It looks like Destiny's getting delayed. This could be, kind of a positioning for Microsoft to get back in there. You know what I mean? With some clever marketing and some good games and things like that. Word of mouth. I think that they can do that, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can come, because they're going to have, Gears 4. What did you guys think about that? It just said Gears 4. Maybe it's a little thing, but it said Gears 4, not Gears of War 4.
Yeah, well, I think that they kind of said that at E3, right? It was just Gears 4. I didn't see Gears of War 4. I think they're they're rebranding it to a certain extent, right? That's why I said during BGST about 3-4 weeks ago, I said that I don't think Marcus Phoenix is in it, and you guys all said, "Oh no, he has to be in it. He has to be in it." If he's in it, he's going to be in it in like a figurative sense, like Marcus's father was in it in the prior ones. You know what I mean? I think that his story is going to continue somehow, a legacy. I don't think you're going to be Marcus Phoenix in this, and I think the name actually is their way of saying, listen, it's not a good idea to always keep starting from scratch. We never learned that more than what George Lucas did with Star Wars. Prequels and going back and this and that doesn't really work. So they want to progress the story. They want to move forward, and the best way to do that, to get a new fresh start, especially with the Coalition, is just tweak the name a little. So they went Gears 4 instead of Gears of War 4. Get rid of the Marcus Phoenix as the only person you play. Whoever this other guy is, and the girl protagonist, I don't know who that is, but they'll explain it as we get a little bit closer to E3. I'm excited. I get excited about those things. I know, and Wolf's the guy to ask because he's the true diehard. But I like Gears of War. Gears of War is definitely, I would say it's probably my number one. I'm not as big a fan as Wolf is, but it is my one or two in the Microsoft world. Gears is the reason I became an Xbox guy, you know, back in the day. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but I am also up for a new story, and that's why I was excited about Hunt the Truth. Hunt the Truth took a nice turn. I think could they've done a little bit more with it.
That's funny because that's the first game I bought when I got my 360.
Yeah, me too. Like that's exactly.
That was their killer app. I mean,
Yeah.
I was an Xbox guy before that, but I remember that being like the killer game. That was the reason why a lot of people that were on the PlayStation 2 went over. A lot of people who were still stuck on Dreamcast went over. A lot of people who were tired of the GameCube went over. I mean, it was the first game that fully utilized the fact that you were playing on an HD TV. Now, you know, I don't know about the whole rebranding of the name with it being Gears 4. Honestly, I think it's just because it's like a pending title. But it could be true. They might be trying to rebrand the game altogether, and you might not be playing as Phoenix, like you said, or Marcus Phoenix.
Well, I remember what's interesting is I remember they go before they acquired the IP. They were like, maybe we got to reboot it. It's got to go back to be darker, like a horror type thing. That's why they're doing only 2-player co-op for the campaign instead of 4-player. You know, I'll miss the 4-player because I actually like that. But I mean, I think it does bring back that element of fear and, you know, if there's something new. But they do say that this takes place after the events of Gears 3. So, I mean, there's obviously some kind of tie-in. It could be like a soft reboot, just a darker kind of thing in that same universe or whatever. Man, who's Darth Vadering it?
Not I.
I don't know. Somebody's like, oh man, take a hit on that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but hopefully, but anyway, it looks good. I liked it. They were showing off, you know, Crackdown 3 and Scalebound and Halo Wars 2 and, you know, the Division, you know, the bigger AAA stuff. I hope that they have. I would guess. Do you guys think they're going to have the Battlefield 5 rights, right?
That's the rumor because I guess the head-to-head, you know, try to say that Battlefield 5 versus Call of Duty not this Christmas, but the following. Although I'll be honest with you, I'm so far from a Battlefield fan. I have never played a game where it should be called Helpless 5 because the minute the minute you're spawned, forget about like spawn camps and the this and that or. No. It doesn't matter where they put you on the fucking map. Either you're on a map that's so big. It's so big that you would be actually famished. In real life, you'd be hungry by the time you got to the other end of the map. That as you're walking across it, somebody just pegs you from like a mile away with a sniper. Or, out of nowhere, a tank rolls over you or an F-16 lands on your head. Like, no matter what you do in that game, you just die. And it doesn't matter. You spawn, die.
Or a grenade all of a sudden shows up as soon as you spawn.
Or you actually go, wow, I avoided the sniper, the tank, and the F-16, and then you turn a corner and there's a gang of about 15 fucking army dudes that are there. It's like, geez, I don't my whole point with that game is I don't know. I don't like to die in video games, okay? I try to perfect myself so that I don't die. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, Destiny, I played Iron Banner last week, okay? And I tried to get gear so I can actually get to that next level. And I played it for like a week straight, and I played the crap out of it. And I made sure by the end of the week, my numbers were good. You know, my kill-death ratio was close to 2. You know, like, that's what I tried to aim to. When I first started playing Rift, I was doing terrible. I was like, oh, you know, you got to aim to get better. And when I played Battlefield, you play and you play and you play. And I think even people who are really good at it still die a lot.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I've watched, shout out to Blackie Lebowski. Blackie's done some great videos where he's always in the Apache, or what is it, the helicopter?
Apache,
and he's Apache. And he's always, Black Hawk, he's always kind of flying around, and he's never dying in it. But, I mean, I think he's also doing it for
he's in a copter, that's why.
Yeah, and he's all over the place. Like, you know, but the minute you touch your feet to the sand or the ground in that game, you're dead. You're just dead. It's like, you know, so anyways, I call it, like, Helpless 5, you know.
I hope they don't market that. I mean, to me, that game should be called like Battlefield Adequate, you know, because it's an okay game. I really don't see the appeal, and it's not in the sense that I think it's terrible. It's just it's good, but like it's not fun to me. Like, so I really don't think they should waste that money. They should put it into something else.
Here's what I'm going to say. They have a good relationship with EA, but they need to pick the market games that there's not a distinct advantage on another platform. You know, like with this whole division thing. So for you, those of you guys that don't know, I did one video. It originally came out that the division would be 900p on Xbox One. This turned out not to be true because once the beta launched, 3 different sites did tests and said 1080p on the beta. Then what happened was, and I did a video on that, and you guys can check it out. In the video, I linked those sites in the description so you can check it out. This asshat, who will remain unnamed, tried to say that, oh, Crap Gamer's lying again, and did a video about me saying I lied about the division being 1080p. Well, go back and watch the video that I did. I linked the articles that had confirmed 1080p. Not only that, I said in the video, this could change, so don't 100% count on it, and you can go back and watch that. You know, I'm not the type of person to do exposed videos because I talk video games, not about other men constantly, but the thing with this is, what happened was Digital Foundry ran the thing and said it's 1080p. Then you had a bunch of fanboys bitching at Digital Foundries, and finally Digital Foundry was like, oh, well, you know, we'll go over and look at it again. Okay, so they went over and looked at the game again with a microscope, and it's like, oh, well, there's a couple parts here where it's dynamic resolution, you know, dynamic resolution. So for the most part, it is 1080p. Supposedly there's a couple spots that was dynamic that scaled it back a bit, much like The Witcher, which if you guys remember, when The Witcher 3 came out, it ran much better on the Xbox One than the PS4.
Yes.
You know, I don't have a problem with this. If you look at Amazon, the Division has been within the top 5 since the beta launched for Xbox One. So I don't think this is going to be a problem for them. In fact, the game is so fun. It looks great. It looks equal pretty much on even the PC ones where they show the PC footage or the PC pictures. Even though, you know, they always try. I always find it stupid when they do a comparison to PC because they're using like these big beefy rigs that nobody really has. You know what I mean? Like the minority. You know, so they're trying to make it look as good as possible, but I think, you know, just show it on an average rig or whatever, and it's not going to look as good as, say, the consoles or whatever, which are really optimized and things like that. But you know, when you've got fans that get you as Digital Foundry to go back and investigate, you know, with a fine-tooth comb, because they can't possibly believe that the game is equal on both platforms, you know there's a problem with the generation, and that's what's been a problem for the generation as whole this whole time.
They don't want to believe that. They don't want to believe that they don't want to believe that their purchase of their console was the wrong purchase. So they go way out of their way. They use $6,000 pieces of equipment to try to find anything. And even if it was dynamic crap, even if it's dynamic scaling, who gives a shit? It's scaling, you know why? To make sure that the frame rate stays solid. I mean, to all you here, I mean, who wants
That's
to
the
play?
future. That's, in my opinion, I did a video when The Witcher announced that, right? Multiple games have done that on Xbox One. Call of Duty, and that had a really good frame rate for the campaign, which was even better than the PS4 at the time. I remember that. It could have changed by now, so don't quote me on that. You know, The Witcher 3 did it, of course.
I'm gonna quote you, Crap.
Now the Division. You know, so look, to me, since consoles don't let you adjust resolution or anything, this is a good idea. When things get too much, even Halo 5 does this. The resolution will change. Is there ever a spot that anybody could ever fucking notice this? That would be my question. Why is this a problem for scaling for when The Witness, an indie game, can't even do 1080p on the PS4, and nobody seems to be talking about that?
Well, nobody wants to because they want you to focus on the Division to make sure that sales on the Xbox One is lower than that on the PS4.
Let me use your words, though. But Food makes a good point. He said, let's focus. Let's focus. When you're talking about a game like The Division, one thing, and only one thing matters, online support. Okay? That game, even if you play it solo, this is a fact. If you're going to play the game solo, you still have to be online. So my point is that PSN sucks. I don't mean just because it goes down all the time. Even when you're on, it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know what I mean? So, I mean, how could you go and get a game where the only thing that it says, you know, like if it says, you ever read things in the back and it's like, to play this or to have this, you must have these as prerequisites?
Yeah.
Like the number one thing is online. Good online. Great online. That's like the first 3 things. And PlayStation's terrible. Like people who have PlayStations that are trolls and argue with all of us, they're just asshats, as Crap says. But like people who have PS4s that I know, and I, you know, just walk up to them like, what's, you know, at work, they have PS4s or Xbox Ones. I'm like, so for the online game, what are you getting? I'm like, oh, I'm definitely getting it for Xbox. I'd rather be on Xbox Live.
But it's like, look, you brought up a good point too, where it's talking about like, let's focus. Like, we're all smart, grown-ass people here, and what they're trying to do is kind of something that they do in politics. Whenever there's a good politician and he's doing great, they'll bring up that he had a mistress, and then instead of focusing on having a good leader, they'll focus on him having sex with some other chick. And I feel like that's what they're doing here with the Xbox. They're like, look, there's a bunch of shitty games coming out in the PS4. We don't need press on it. What could we talk about? The Division might maybe be dynamic scaling, and they run on that. They run on that to try to make you think that one is inferior. Meanwhile, all these shitty games are being shoved in by indies, and nobody's looking at those. Nobody's checking the resolution for that. Nobody's checking the frame rate dips. So they're trying to get you to focus on this, so that way you don't focus on the bad. And right now, it's to me, honestly, it might be working because we know that they're amazing with marketing, and they have a bunch of outlets on their team.
Yeah, I agree, and this game is going to be really hot. It comes at a time where Destiny's dying down. A lot of games are kind of dying down. Everybody's going to be playing this game. Let's face it. I mean, I'm going to be playing. I think everybody here is probably going to be playing it, right?
Absolutely, I am. I got it pre-ordered.
Me too. I'm actually.
I will say this much though.
Digital.
Crap. I'm getting it digital definitely. I am holding off on buying the season pass. Just because of one thing, really. I mean, we talk about it on BG Steve all the time. I try to bring it up on my channel a lot. Is we are consumers first, right? So, and that's why I think we have better shows than most. Because to be honest with you, when I mean most, I mean the PlayStation. PlayStation guys don't think with their wallets; they just think outrageously. Like you have to understand why go and give the map pack.
All, actually.
You really don't. Why buy a map pack right now or season pass when we don't know what it is? Here's my thing: I'm willing to double down and actually pay for a season pass. But instead of a $40 season pass, if I buy it now, it's $25, right? I mean, that's the way. That's anything else. And even if you go buy a car and you sit there with the salesman, and the manager comes out, and the salesman goes back into the little fishbowl, and he comes back out again, and you're sitting there for about 6 hours. Finally, if you're persistent enough, the manager's going to come out if you're within range and say, "Listen, that's the number you want. You're not leaving. We're doing the deal right now." To get me to sign the deal early, you've got to give me an incentive. So I wrote to at the Division game. And I wrote to a few people that are in the know that have been following the Division. I said, listen, I'm all about paying the $100 up front, but I'm like, is that a deal? Or if I want to buy it later, it's $40 anyway. They're like, no, it's $40 anyway. And I'm like, well, why would I buy it now then? Like, where's the incentive to give you the 100, and then you have the 100? You're not getting the 100. You're not going to get the 40 back. So I kind of recommend buy the game. You're gonna. I mean, anyone who played the beta knows we're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna get X amount of months of enjoyment out of it. But then if they don't deliver for some reason, then you're not in the whole 40 extra bucks. I mean, that's just being a good consumer, and you're also not losing anything. You lose nothing on the 13th hour by buying the season pass. That's what, and that doesn't just go for Division. That goes for any of these games. Why aren't you giving people a break when they buy early? Especially something that isn't even created yet. So, it's basically like putting money into stocks, right? You're investing in what they say they're going to do.
And hopefully the stocks don't drop.
Right. Well, that's exactly it. And listen, if you shout out to Dealer Gamer, who was on this show too. Whenever he gets a chance, he makes his way on the Xbox Nation. I always watch Dealer's videos, and he's got a video up today about how he paid for the Arkham Knight. He loved Arkham Knight, the game itself, the actual vanilla game itself, but he didn't. He bought the $40 season pass, and he says it's been and he gave it an awful rating today, and I believe every word of it because he's a huge Arkham fan. And he says he didn't get anywhere near his $40 value. He said, as a matter of fact, he said the way I would explain it to everybody is that the content that he got for the season pass was what you normally would have got back in the day if you beat the game. Like what you would have gotten, like New Game Plus with the add-ons. You unlock new skins. He said the majority he got was skins for Batman and Batmobiles that you couldn't even use in story mode. So, I mean, here's my thing, and this is not a bad thing. This is not a bash session at all. This is just, I will definitely give you, this being the Division now or games in the future, $25 to invest in you telling me I'm going to get good DLC content without knowing. So I'm blindly giving you $25. But I'm not going to give you the full value right now, and I get nothing more than the guy who's going to buy it after he sees what the packs are going to be. You know what I mean? I don't understand that. So I would just say go buy the $60 version, enjoy it, and if you get 6 months out of it, and then they have it come out, or 3 months, then the DLC, and you like it, pay the $40. I mean,
agree
I'm
with that.
you know, that's
I
just
agree
what
with that.
and that's the thing. I wrote that, and I've been really active on Twitter about that, and I've been trying to get these developers under. I don't know what these developers, they're very talented in certain categories, and they're dumb as rocks in other categories, or maybe it's the publishers, whoever it is that's making these decisions. I would, if I'm sitting there and I'm trying to balance these books, let's say you make a game, right? And I'm the one that's in charge of this, and you turn to me and go, Mooch, what are we going to do? I'll say, well, listen, I know you want to reap in every dollar, but can I talk you into coming down $10 so we can get these people to sign up now, and then then I believe in you, they believe in you, and we can get more asses in the seats. And that's what I don't understand. We have yet. The last time I think that was offered was a Call of Duty eons ago, where I remember being at GameStop, and I said to the guy, what's the break? And he goes, actually, if you get the season pass now, I think it came to like $23 and change. It was only like $7-8 off. It was $29.99 if you bought it at the 13th hour. But I said, it's a break. And I at the time, this was like I said years ago, I was playing Call of Duty. I'm like, I'm gonna get them anyway. Yeah, sure, tack it on. You know what I mean? And the map packs, they sucked. The map packs sucked. But at the same time, I gave them the money because I got that $7-8 break. And it was worth it. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's just another thing that's been coming up lately. And I think if they just reduced it slightly, you get more customers. And it really, DLC is cheap for them. They're not making a whole new game. So, I mean, why? You can't take $7-8 off, $10 to get more people. And we may never even play it. I look at DLC as people who join gym memberships, okay? $10-20 a month, and then you never even go, and then you never cancel. So you end up paying $10 out of your account every month. You're like, I'll go run the elliptical one day. I'll be there next year. It's like you never go, but they're making $120 off you if it's a $10 a month club, and you're not doing anything. You're not even taking up their oxygen. So if you can get people to buy your DLC, 6 months down the line, you get your DLC comes out, they may be onto another game. It doesn't really, they're not putting a whole lot of love into it. So give us a break on the price.
I agree with that 100%. You're right, and you don't even know what you're going to get in DLC to begin with. No. And if you're going to put that money up front, and they're going to give you shit like you said, your friend said he got just skins and Batmobiles that he couldn't even freaking use, right. Or maps that you don't even like or don't even want to play with.
$40. $40. I mean, that's 2/3 of what the Division costs. So why not?
I mean, and the thing is that right here on the show, I mean, all we can do is really speculate. Like, I have my own view of it, but I can't even show you or any proof that it's going to happen. But I believe, honestly, that it's that expensive because of the scope that they have set for it. Like, they're planning on making this a game where they're going to have the income to create their vision. Like, for example, don't get me wrong, I like Destiny the way it is now, but when it first came out, we could all agree that it was a beta. I mean, it was not ready to be sold, and they were going to have the entire solar system. That's what they said, right? Did they have the whole solar system then? No. Do they have the whole solar system now? No. But I just think it might be just, covering their asses with money that they might need to make the game bigger and as best as they possibly can, since they're going to be trying to compete with the likes of Destiny.
Right.
I can understand, I can understand that, but you should try to plan more carefully about, like, if you say a game's going to have something, like you said, it's going to have the whole solar system and it doesn't, or it's going to have this. Don't tell people it's going to have it, and they won't expect it, and then you won't need to do that. Just try. I mean, these games sometimes are in the making, like 5 years prior, before they even announce something.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a good example of what happened of a situation like this. The Star Wars Battlefront DLC, right? They're like, pay $50 for this season pass, right? They just now announced what these are going to be, and they didn't even give all the information on it, So it's like they wanted you to pay $50, and then 3 months later they're going to tell you what these maps are going to be and things like that, and they don't even give you all the details. So I think that it's a little bit, that's kind of hurting the industry as well. Yeah. I think like the pre-order stuff, get this special thing or this special thing. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff doesn't help things as far as
of sales.
See what Microsoft did with Halo 5. That should be a standard. Yeah, they had microtransactions here and there, but they had free map packs, and they're going to continue to have more maps. Now
all free.
Now, whatever
free,
community you make out of that, they're going to put that on the playlist. But the developers are going to put their own work into it and add more maps, more Warzone maps.
And I think that might actually work. I mean, look at Activision. They're pretty much taking up a page out of their book, because Activision introduced those microtransactions, and I thought they were fucking stupid, but then it looks like they were pretty much going to be using the money that the idiots that want to shell out $20 to start dancing like Carlton for some damn reason when you should be shooting somebody, they're going to be taking that money and putting it towards DLC. So you're going to get stuff like House of Wolves and etc., but it's going to be free. You're not going to be paying for it. So I think if it's going to be along the lines of what they did in Halo 5, Wolf, I agree with you. I mean, they should do that. And I remember I was talking to Wolf about this in a party like a month or two ago, but I was pretty upset because I was like, I'm sick and tired of knowing ahead of time what I'm going to get. Why are you telling me that in 3 months from now or a year from now or a year and a half from now I should expect this thing? Like, give it to me now. Like, these are billion-dollar companies, hundreds of million-dollar companies making $200 million games. Give me this shit right now. Don't let me play your beta for a year like they did with Destiny. Don't let me know about these things unless it's coming out in a month from now. So, like, it is hurting the industry, like Crap Gamer said. And like what you said, Wolf, I hope that they start taking microtransactions and actually start using it towards getting us this, DLC and new products and stuff like that.
See, I don't mind microtransactions for cosmetics and extra dance moves or whatever, but if it's anything to do with making your weapon more powerful or having a super exotic gun or whatever to have an advantage, then obviously that's pretty messed up. That ruins the whole game, ruins everybody else's experience. But as far as the free map pack goes, I'm all for that. And hopefully Microsoft continue this through like Gears of War 4 or many of the other first-party games that they have coming. Imagine like Scalebound getting, more DLC for free. It's a win right there.
That would be great. That would be great. I mean, that's a good thing to do. I think it really is. It keeps your people here with you.
Of course, it just shows how pro-consumer they are. That's the thing.
Right, exactly, and it keeps us here. It keeps us interested. It keeps us wanting more.
Now, hey, just real quick, like something that kind of bugged me, which was IGN after this video came out, right? The video that we talked about earlier, the marketing video came out. They said that it seemed like Microsoft was bragging or boasting a little bit much with the video.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no lie.
Oh my God!
Excuse me.
They can't even come out with a commercial. You can't even advertise your product, and it's called bragging. And if you are bragging, why not? Are you not entitled to like the product that you guys have been working really hard to reinvent?
IGN. It was someone on an IGN video or something like that. That it was bragging or something along those lines. I don't know.
A bunch of jackasses.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? Like, do you just lay over or whatever? Everybody talks about Sony's sold numbers or whatever. Actually, technically, I guess ship numbers, and that'll be a good segue here in a minute. But it's just kind of sad that Microsoft can't talk up their own exclusives or anything like that without people thinking it is bragging. Hey, man, they're just talking about their games. I don't really find an issue with that. Talking about games is what people should do. If you're a company that makes games, you should talk about games. I think that's basically about it. How
do you sell your product? You got to believe in your product in order to sell it.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with celebrating your success. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. I got a quick question for you guys before we get into the next segue, because I know Craps wants to move on. Definitely. What do you guys think of about Left 4 Dead 3?
I doubt they make it because that company never make anything. Valve or whoever that is, right? When was the last game they made?
Not just that, like when would they release it? Look how crowded this year and the next coming year is.
Well, listen, Nancy brings up a good point. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that we should take it. I wouldn't exactly say we should run with a story on it, but we did notice that recently Left 4 Dead 2 is going to be coming to backwards compatible, and I'm starting to realize that the backwards compatible tool is almost like the Phil Spencer T-shirts at E3.
Yeah.
It seems like whatever comes out on backwards compatibility ends up being or has a hint towards something coming out later on. You know what I mean? Like just some odd things like that. So with the fact that out of all the games they have, Left 4 Dead 2 being something that I think we're going to be getting relatively soon on back compat. I do think there's something to it. Let's also remember that Left 4 Dead 1, first of all, huge fan. I hate Valve, but huge fan of that game. I saw all those pictures on Twitter, a week ago? Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go home, pop the discs in, and download that. Like, I wanted to play. I can't. And, it's weird. There is a certain thing, and Crap, you said it yourself in a video. I think we also talked about it on VGST. there is something about going home now and putting a 360, especially a game that you actually cherish, a game that you like to play, throwing it into the Xbox One, playing it on the Xbox One controller. It's just the experience. Not just that, but your community, the friends, everyone that you know that has an X1, like, is just on, and you can interact. It's just like playing the 360 version. Just me, I have a 360 in the house. I could just put it on and play, but I feel like I would be playing on a PlayStation 4 right now, which would be, secluded and lonely. So it's like I prefer to be on the Xbox One, and I think that this is a hint. Now, to answer what Food just said, Food said, well, we have a lot coming out, and he's right. We have a lot coming out this year. There's no way in God's green earth we would see if there is even an announcement, but it would be a hell of a lockdown. Even if it's again, I don't know how much. We have to wait and see. I'm really hesitant to keep saying exclusive in any which way because I don't know if Phil saw what happened in 2015 and will start going back to the exclusive route again with third party, or if he saw what happened in 2015 and he's literally going to just do marketing deals and put every dollar he has into first party IP.
But Mooch, that would be a great game to lock down.
Absolutely.
1 and 2 were console exclusive.
And that's it. That's where I was going. I interrupted myself. It was basically I do that a lot. But like literally, 1 and 2 was at 360 exclusive, and it was huge. I mean, everybody knows about it. It's another household name.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I know this year is crazy. Okay, I get that. But hopefully, even if they don't do it this year, maybe they can do spring or something next year or summertime or something. I mean, I really want to see another the Left 4 Dead 3. I really do on the Xbox One, and an exclusive at that.
Right.
Yep. Definitely, I think you're 100% right. But what do you guys think about this? Okay, because again, this leaked, and we talked about this like a year ago. There's a hint that we're going to see a remake or a remaster of Alan Wake with Quantum Break. I would actually be surprised if it's a remake and not just a backwards compatible version. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say it could possibly be a PC port. And yeah, I do remember sometime last year with the email survey when they were asking about a Quantum Break pre-order incentive, they had Alan Wake remastered as an option there. So it's pretty believable. It makes sense, and it will kind of like give people an opportunity to experience a Remedy game before even going out to purchase, Quantum Break. So I'm all for it.
I would want
it. It won't even bother me if this game is not backwards compatible.
I would want it if it was a remaster, like a backwards compatible version. I already got the achievements that I can get on that, so I probably wouldn't play through it again. So I would hope that it was.
Let's look at the timeline, Crap. Look at the timeline. Let's make sense of it for a second, okay? Quantum Break was originally rumored to be coming out holiday 2015. Okay, it got bumped to the right for a few reasons. They saw the success that spring, that big opening that spring had. Look, we've been saying it on the Xbox community forever. If nobody wants to believe it, that's fine. Bloodborne is just blood shit. Nobody gave a shit. It was nothing else to play, right? So the PS4 fans have been starved forever. Then they get Bloodborne. They played 2 steps forward, 2 steps back for 3 months, but there was no competition out there. So they cleaned house. So Microsoft says, okay, we're going to do that. You just gave Remedy, okay, basically from August of last year till April of this year to polish. Now, hear me out. We all know that Naughty Dog was in trouble with Uncharted 4, as we saw the delay after delay after delay. So now what do we get? We
delay after delay after delay.
Yeah, I use that in so many terms. But literally, we gave Naughty Dog 6 months, not even, about 4 or 5 months, when they're like, we're announcing the Uncharted collection. And that was just a paint job. They want to call that a remaster, call it whatever you want. My point here, in short, is we did it. Microsoft has given Remedy more than ample time to get a remaster out of Alan Wake. And listen, even Wolf's point has got to be taken. Even if it's the PC port brought over, it's going to look better than the original 360. So I think, myself personally, would love to have Alan Wake remastered. And Wolf, I'm with you. It doesn't have to be free. I'd even pay $30 for it, or whatever, $40 for a remaster.
And it could be a downloadable game. It doesn't even have to be a retail copy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to.
I think I think the important thing would be just to get it into people's hands. I mean, there's a lot of gamers out there that didn't get the opportunity to play it. I was talking to Wolf about this a long time ago, and we were talking about sales of the game. Like, it sold pretty well. It did a good job, but what I was explaining to him was I never came across nobody, even till this day. The only people I talked to about Alan Wake are people over the internet. I've never run into anybody in real life with this game. So I have it.
I have it.
I have it.
But I haven't, like, that's the thing, I never met you guys, so it's like, I've never heard anyone talk about it either in person, so I feel like there's a lot of people out there that haven't gotten the opportunity to play it, and I definitely think they should just get it out there, even if it's just a remaster. If it's a remake, then that's a plus, but even if it's a remaster, $30, $15, doesn't matter, just get it onto someone's console so that they get a chance to play, and not only that, once they play that and they see how good it is, they get to know how good Remedy is, and they might go, hey, let me get their next game, or let me pre-order that next game.
If they do remaster it, hopefully they put in the American Nightmare one as well, because that was fun, and that was where they started experimenting with that live action stuff. Yeah. And I think they took that over into Quantum Break, so I'm really kind of excited for that. The game looks phenomenal. Just real quick, somebody pointed this out to me, and I've been meaning to talk about it. Game Informer did a top 10 remakes of 2015. And when you think of remakes, there's probably a lot of them that came out. But guess which one wasn't in their top 10? Gears of War Ultimate.
Oh my God!
Why would it be? Why would it be? But before Iron Wolf gets angry, it's 9 o'clock. I was gonna stay here till 9. So everybody watching, thanks for stopping by for this show. Thanks for having me again, Crap Gamer. I appreciate it.
Hey, no worry, man. Appreciate you. Like, you literally got in here like right before we went on air, man. I know you're busy, and I appreciate it, dude. We'll bring you back next week. No worries, Food. Take it easy. Definitely. Make sure you guys subscribe to Too Much Food, man. He's got a good channel. So
have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, bro. Yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think about that? No Gears of War Ultimate, which is actually Gears of War Ultimate, as far as I'm concerned, was the only remake or remaster that totally changed things around. Like the online multiplayer, 60 frames per second, which no Gears of War had. It's almost completely different. What was it, like 30 maps? It had a spotting system.
What was the headline you said that it wasn't included in? What was the actual read?
It was the top 10 remasters or remakes of 2015.
Yeah.
Who made the list?
I believe it was Game Informer. Game Informer.
Another foe.
Yeah, like I don't follow them anymore. Someone tweeted it to me. You know, a lot of times the fans and stuff will tweet me stuff, and they'll be like, "Hey, Crap, can you believe this? Check this out." And I'll be like, "Oh, damn!" You know what I mean? This is good stuff. You know, it was like, and I was just surprised because they totally redid the assets for this game. You know, it's definitely, you know, you $40. You not only did you get this game with the all new reworked online, but you got all 4 Gears games digitally backwards compatible. You got access to the Gears 4 beta. It was the best value in gaming. You know?
You know, I really think these places that do these things, they don't know their ass from their elbow. I really don't.
Do you guys think they go out of their way to forget, you know, to forget the Xbox stuff, or do they just like, you know what I mean?
I honestly think they just go out of their way to put it out of their minds. Either that, or they just don't know a good game when they see one. I don't know. Maybe they're that dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, there's definitely an agenda there, because Gears of War Ultimate is, well, besides Halo 2 Anniversary, Gears of War Ultimate is the only remake this gen.
Yeah.
It really is.
Because that's how Microsoft does it. It's not like, it's not just like a quick port that's like up-res and things like that. Like I'll give you an example. So if people don't know what we're talking about, what they did was like Halo 2 Anniversary, where you know, they put a new engine over top the old one, and they fixed everything with all new cutscenes. Gears Ultimate did that too. New cutscenes, new renders, all this stuff, new multiplayer, 60 frames per second, dedicated servers, all stuff that Gears original didn't have. And that's how you do it. Just like, you know, Halo 1 Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, you did that. Now, on the flip side of that, when Master Chief Collection didn't work at first, they went ahead and just they basically pulled a Sony job with ODST, up-resed it to 1080p, 60 frames per second, and shoved it out the door. But since it was just a free game they were giving to people that bought the game, that's okay with that. Whereas Sony is charging, you know, 40, 50, 60 bucks for this stuff, you know what I mean, just for up-res and 60 frames, or unlocked frame rate, as it were.
And no multiplayer.
Yeah, no multiplayer, cutting out features and things like that. Although it was a free game, compensation for Xbox One owners, and it did cut out the firefight mode. But again, free as opposed to paying money for basically the same kind of treatment. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion.
This is the thing, Crap. The media will go out their way to bury a game like Gears of War, Halo, or any of the great remakes that Microsoft do. They'll just bury it.
Yeah. Think about it. The list for 2016's most anticipated games, Microsoft didn't make the list at all. Quantum Break wasn't even on it for some of them. Yeah. I mean, what does that mean? How do you even say Remedy? Forget Quantum Break. Forget what you've seen, people. Forget everything you've seen. If Remedy is even in the list of people, like you're just choosing, and I have to pick 5. I've never seen any of the games. Remedy has to go in there, right? I mean, right? Credentials. Then you take on top what you've seen, and I mean, that's just insane. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Some of the major ones did put Quantum Break in there, but a lot of the other ones that are still a top-tier legitimate source that did their most anticipated 2016 titles didn't include Quantum Break or Gears. And I'm like, I don't know.
Not to cut you off, but that's why there's people like us that have to that have to say what the real truth is.
It really is. We are literally the only. But that's a pathetic thing, though, Nancy, because I can't really understand that. I can't see how. That's why I say this. How in God's green earth can anybody tell me that Game Informer, Polygon, all these people, nobody likes the Xbox? And then if you say that, they're like, "Come on, Mooch." One guy will respond to you from one of the, "I like the Xbox," and then they'll do a Let's Play on their own Xbox, and they've got a 6,000 gamer score. They don't even turn the thing on. I mean, one of the guys.
It was only for the little bit they played. They just, over the years, they gathered those couple of points.
Well, I tweeted out today, Polygon did a, what was it, a Let's Play of The Division, and they were going through, and they're just kind of bullshitting while they're playing. It was, they launched it today, but of course the beta ended the other day. But they're playing on PlayStation. And people are like, so what, Mooch? What's the difference? So what? What's the difference? I said, wait a minute, though. Microsoft has the marketing deal. That would mean to me, like whenever Star Wars Battlefront was played on any of these channels, everybody's holding a DualShock 4. Like, why is it when Microsoft has the rights to games, people are still playing the PlayStation 4 version? Like, I thought that's what you were paying for. Part of the whole let's give this idea and thought that Microsoft has this product and it's theirs is that every time you associate yourself with the Division, in this case the Division, you have to see an Xbox controller in hand. You need to see the box sitting up so it says Xbox and it's green. When the commercial ends, you see the Xbox logo. That's what the millions are for, right? Why am I paying millions and millions of dollars for a couple of lost YouTube commercials that Microsoft puts up, and then Sony, everyone's playing the PS4 version? I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that doesn't understand. But if I was actually in these meetings, I would say, well, when we get these negotiations and we send you a copy, you will be playing ours on the Let's Play, correct? And if they don't answer with yes and we guarantee it, I'm pulling everything. Because I don't understand.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think Microsoft should have made sure before doing a deal, before handing over copies to the media, it should have been an Xbox One copy. But I don't know what Ubisoft are doing by sending PS4 copies out there for them to hold a DualShock 4 in the first place. So
I mean, people think that's small, but it's really not small. It's not
this small thing. It's not a small thing at all.
It's not. It's branding. When people keep seeing people in the know, we all know that people that work at IGN and all them are 20-year-olds still popping pimples. They don't know what the hell they're talking about anyways. Right? I mean, you can tell they don't know what they're doing. I've said this before. I'll say it again.
Probably
when Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, these guys all leave, what do? They just pull the guy out from behind the camera, and they're like, all right, now you're in front. And the next guy steps over. So, I mean, there's no real talent there. All this is getting opinions from people that literally have opinions like me and you. So, I mean, there's really no talent. So but the thing is, though, the youngsters, people that watch this growing up, they see this, and they see this Mitch Dyer, and they see Shaggy, and they see all these guys, Destin Legary, and every time they play Destiny, they're holding a PlayStation 4 controller. It wears on you after watching it for 12 to 16 months, 18 months, and you keep seeing it. Then if you're a consumer, you're like, oh, I'm going to go get that game now. Well, which one for? Probably the PlayStation one, because that's all I ever see people playing on. That's how marketing works. It's just, we're all like, you go to take a human factors class.
Especially for young people, their minds are so impressionable, and if their parents are buying it for them, like you said in other podcasts, that's what happens. They see the commercials for these, their kids see it. oh, I want this. My friend Joey down the street got it. You know,
Right.
this one, and that's exactly what they do. They don't pay attention to the real, you know, as Iron Wolf would say, the real facts about anything.
No, and I don't know. I just think that, and you know who you got to blame Microsoft, because in all honesty, if you have the marketing deal, you do have to kind of put your foot down, you know.
Exactly.
And if you don't, then they're just going to play the copy that they want. Because I think both companies probably end up sending a copy, you know. So what does it cost them to send IGN an extra disc? You know, a couple bucks.
But that's not the point. That's not the point, though.
No, it's not. That's my point. But Microsoft has to stand up and do that. They're the ones that have to say, because somebody on Sony's side is putting their foot down. I've not yet seen a PlayStation 4 marketed game and a Let's Play on Polygon presented with the Xbox One controller in their hand.
Hey, remember?
That's why Phil needs to get in the marketing department's ass and say, listen, if you're going to put this out there, you got to tell these people that they got to use our controller.
Right.
Don't send anything out for PS4 if we have the marketing rights to it. No. And if they can't agree to it, then they just don't get it. We'll find somebody else that will do it right.
Back out and find another game.
And we'll find somebody else that will do it.
Yeah. Well, like I remember when these consoles launched, and this was when Microsoft had the marketing deal with Call of Duty Ghosts, and they were playing Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS4 version, right? And their reasoning was it was 1080p, but they didn't even have the patch to do that. So they were both 720p.
And they think people are stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they think people are stupid. And it's oh my gosh, I got that Omazio dude in the fucking comment section with his list.
Oh, there's one thing I really wanted to say, and I've actually been vocal about this. It bothers me a little bit about Quantum Break because, you know, Uncharted comes out 3 weeks after Quantum Break, and we've seen more Uncharted than we have Quantum Break.
Well, they're gonna, from what I understand, the February 25th event is basically gonna be a Quantum Break event. That's what I'm hearing.
There'll be a Quantum Break fest, so I want to see everything.
I hope so.
I mean, look, it's been they've already did a cast reveal Quantum Break video. They did that video with Quantum Break being added to the greatest games lineup. I think that they're going all out with it, and so far so good. They're really
Today's commercial was really, really good. I have to say.
Quantum Break was at the forefront.
Exactly, and Crackdown, the gameplay on Crackdown, even though it was a little snippet, it looked really, really impressive.
I actually missed the commercial until you guys
told me. But the one before that, I think it was yesterday, the little commercial yesterday about the greatest games lineup, that was just a rehash, and it was really weak in my opinion.
I liked it. They added, they're adding Quantum Break to that, because they're basically saying, hey, what we've done in the last 5-6 months is fantastic. Nobody else is doing that. You know what I mean? It was like Forza 6, Tomb Raider, Gears Ultimate, Halo 5. Quantum Break. I like that. It's hit after hit after hit after hit, and I think that it's.
You're right what you're saying, but nobody's doing that ever though. Really, we are the only ones doing it, but we don't get credit for what we do. Well, Microsoft doesn't get credit for bringing out hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. They find a way to put every game down because it's on Xbox One.
Here's the thing, though. They're very clear with this new ad. They were saying you can only get all 10 of the most played games of last year on the Xbox One. You can get all of them.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make with the whole February 25th thing is that leaving it that late, and then after that, there's about 5 weeks left till it launches. It's not really good, man. They need to put this beforehand. Let people out there know that this game is coming.
Super Bowl commercial.
Where's the hype train for this game?
Hey, I hope they have one. If not, I mean, who knows? But
that's the biggest event watched the whole year.
Hey, I'm giving them props for listening because that commercial that they did today was basically what we've been saying to do for a while now, and it shows that they're listening to what I don't know. Aaron favorited my tweet. I was like, "Were you guys listening?" It's basically 100% what we've been telling them to do for the last 6 months to a year. You got to get out there and kind of talk about these games. Now, imagine if they have the Mirror's Edge. If they had the Mirror's Edge marketing rights, they have the Division. Well, I know they showed it, right? They got the Division, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. They have
Doom.
They have Doom. What if they happen to have Battlefield 5? What if they have
Mass Effect? The reason why probably chose Battlefield 5, maybe because it's cheap, like cheaper than Call of Duty, and then they went with Homefront 2, which no one gives a shit about. So I don't know. They may be taking a cheap
Well,
route. I don't
Homefront,
know.
I don't know, but the Battlefield works on multiple accounts. They don't have Call of Duty anymore, so it is a cheaper version that, let's just be honest, everybody still puts, it's like my old analogy I always say, McDonald's versus Burger King, McDonald's kills them. Call of Duty kills Battlefield in sales, but Battlefield is the one that is associated as its rival. So you got your rival going up there, plus Microsoft has a great relationships thus far, we'll see if it changes, with EA and EA Access. So Battlefield all kind of falls in line. I think it makes sense. Do I like Battlefield? I can't. Personally, I can't stand it. Battlefield was in the vault. Battlefield Hardline was in the vault. I would never touch it. It has no interest of mine at all. But I do think it's a strategy. It's a good strategy. So, I mean, if I was definitely on Microsoft's team, that would have been something that I may have thrown my name in the hat and say maybe we should go after Battlefield. So I think it's a smart move. Crap, you keep saying maybe. There's no way in God's green earth they would put Mirror's Edge into that video today if it wasn't something they had locked down already.
Is that a big title, though? Like, I never played the first one. I'm not sure if it's a big one or if it's a smaller.
You know what? Let me tell you this much, Crap. Let me answer your question. Is it big? No. But what it is it's a game that resonates with the hardcore gamer group. So maybe it's another one of those things where it lures one other person if there's some kind of content that's exclusive from the PlayStation to go buy an Xbox for that extra content. Because people have been waiting for Mirror's Edge for a long time, and they're big fans. Like, you know what I mean? It's niche, but it's hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and PlayStation has a lot of those. So when Microsoft does this, do I get excited? No, I do not get excited. But I get excited for the brand because I think it pulls over another small niche group.
That's what you did.
But Mooch, even if you don't get excited,
right? It's not about me.
People do. A lot of other people do.
I'm already on Team Green. I don't need. They got me already. I don't care. My point is, like, that's what I like to see. I like to see the brand develop. So if the brand's going to develop, you've got to go outside of your comfort zone, and Mirror's Edge is a good start.
Yeah.
Add the variety. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing with that damn Souls game that they have marketing rights for. That's not my thing, but maybe,
There's a crowd out there for that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I'm just saying the way Microsoft has things lining up this year, towards the end of the year, with marketing rights, they could actually have an advantage over Sony, who really relied heavily on Battlefront, Call of Duty, Destiny DLC. They were probably hoping a lot, and Assassin's Creed. Remember, they had Assassin's Creed stuff. Right. Their marketing looks a little weak this year. Hitman marketing, which that game doesn't look that good because it's going to be in installments or whatever. Destiny 2 pushed back. Call of Duty will be out. Who knows what that'll be, hit or miss. I seriously doubt I'll get another one. I don't even think I'm level 10 on Black Ops 3.
I was going to say, since it's 2016, and I remember the director of DICE did say that DirectX 12 and Windows will be a standard, and he will like it for it to be a standard. Do you think Battlefield 5 could be DirectX 12? And do you think that's the reason Microsoft could partner with this game?
Who knows? I mean,
because of a few things. First of all, from what EA has said publicly. But let's be honest, Battlefield, the one thing it is known for is they always try. They've failed in the past, but they always try to push the bar. They always try to raise the bar. So yeah, I think Wolf. Do I think it's going to happen 100%? No, I wouldn't put money on it, but I definitely think that it's feasible because the Battlefield franchise has always tried to do. Remember when they had the whole buildings collapse and of course we know they needed more process. I mean, you need technically the stuff that's going on in Crackdown 3 to go on there. They couldn't simulate it quite to that extent with real time, but nonetheless, they tried pushing the envelope. If they could incorporate the X12, and EA has come out and said, I think a year ago, that they want to make that their standard, then yeah, absolutely. I think it's got a good chance of having it.
And that game is coming out late 2016, and that's
2017.
Oh, okay then. So it's even
Titanfall March of 2017. They're saying.
Yeah. Battlefield 5 though, I'm hearing.
The end of this year.
Oh, is it 16?
Yeah, coming out this year.
Someone told me 17.
No, it's this year, dude.
No, I think that was Mass Effect.
All their games are scheduled for the fiscal ending of this year, which would be March 2017 would be the latest. But Titanfall, they're saying Titanfall 2, March 2017. Call of Duty.
Crap, I'm hearing something completely different now. Hear the logic that was presented to me. Someone said the reason EA is not going to E3 is all of their big titles, and Battlefield 5 was mentioned. Battlefield 5, Titanfall, and why do I always forget? Mass Effect are all coming out in 2017. So they felt that and predominantly, I know that Titanfall's March, but the other two are going to be holiday, September, October, November. I heard that's why they're skipping this year's E3, basically.
They're not going to have a booth, but they're still going to have a presence there, and they're doing their own event. With and part of the reason for that could be that I think they're doing their own event that weekend that's all on them, and they're going to be showing off a lot of stuff. So I think that
they're still going to have like the FIFAs, the Maddens, the NBA.
I just looked it up. Battlefield 5 is scheduled for come out this holiday, so it's going to go head to head with the new Call of Duty from looks like Infinity Ward's up this year. So we'll see what they have.
Well, I got news for you. If they don't go back to World War II, which they're probably not,
or at least modern instead of future, because I'm tired.
I heard it could be Ghost 2.
Oh God, I hope not. Oh, that was terrible. I hated that.
That's good for Battlefield, then.
Yeah, that is. I mean, look, here's the thing. I like campaigns of this stuff mostly. You know what I mean? Like, I like the campaign of Battlefield 4. It was in. I didn't buy the game. It's in EA Access Vault. So I played the campaign in there. I tried the multiplayer. I was like, ugh, this sucks. Never went back to it. You know what I mean? Same thing. Like Battlefield Hardline is in the vault. You play the game. By the way, Madden 16 is in the vault. If you're an EA Access subscriber, you can download Unraveled right now, and play the first what is it?
Did you guys? Crap! Did you see my tweet today about my Unravel comment?
No. What did you say?
I mean, I went on last night and I watched. I can't remember the site. It was something on YouTube. And it was a 10-minute show. It was the EA, it was the developer, and it was EA Access stuff, and blah blah blah. It was like it wasn't an Xbox thing, but they were using an Xbox controller. I'll give them that. And nonetheless, that game to me looks like a soulless Ori or a maybe more colorful, which can't even say more colorful, just maybe a slightly better story-driven Max Curse of the Brotherhood. I watched 10 minutes of it, and literally it almost put me into a coma. Like, here's the way I look at it. It's today's version of the Spot 7-Up game from SNES.
I remember that game.
Yeah, which was a good game for back then, but it's just jumping around, don't land into a pit of needles, and your yarn helps you swing around. Like I watched it for 10 minutes. It was a 10-minute show, and don't get me wrong, it looks nice, but I can't really say that like it was exciting. I mean, if you thought Max the Curse of the Brotherhood was exciting, then this game is for you.
You were jumping out of your chair for that. Come on.
Well, you know what? Look, are you an EA Access member? You can get the game and try it.
Yeah, absolutely. I recommend trying it. Why not? Right?
Because that's what I mean. That's one of the good things about EA Access.
Yeah.
Is that we can try. Like I tried Battlefront for the full 10 hours before I bought it.
Right.
It's a good way. Same thing with like Madden and stuff. Is a good way to kind of test it out and get your achievements and all your progress carries over and stuff. So I think that I'm gonna try the game. I'm not really into platformer. I like a few, and side-scrolling ones can be okay. Like I like Max Curse of Brotherhood a lot, but some of those puzzles were really kind of easy. I don't like the ones where I got to really think a lot because, I game to kind of relax, and puzzles aren't really relaxing to me.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to do a thing, huh, Crap?
It is, I'm not the great. I'm a little bit punchy. You know what I mean? I'm not very intelligent.
But they just added Madden 16 to the vault, right?
Let's not go there.
Yeah, they did yesterday.
Yeah, they added Madden 16 to the vault, so that's another
that's a nice addition.
That is, and you know what? The people that are like, oh man, don't people just hold off on buying these games? No, because look, if you're gonna buy Madden, you're gonna buy it at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean? Like if you're that hardcore, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice thing to get later on in the year, but let's face it, the Super Bowl is Sunday. So adding it to them, they're still getting. Isn't it still a top 10 selling game every year?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a top 10 selling game every year, no matter what. And speaking of EA, their CFO Blake Jurgensen came out and did his call about sales, and this is exactly what he says. And listen to how the media and gamers and fanboys try to spin this. He said that his guess, keyword on guess, is that the install, keep the quotations on guess and install base, would be 55 million for current gen consoles, right? Which means, if you guys are familiar with what install base means, it means in homes, right? Not shipped, but in homes. And he guesses that there's 55 million. So what did everybody do? They go, well, Sony came out and said they've shipped through to stores, 37 million. That must mean that Xbox One makes up the difference to that 55, right? And so everybody was running with this story. Did EA leak Xbox One sales numbers? Read what the guy said. He said he guesses the install base would be that. And we wanted to talk about it on Big Gamer Small Talk, and we didn't get a chance to. But it's like people look. It's like if they flip out if they don't have numbers to compare. You know what I mean? And I guess I'll never get this. I actually like the fact, like somebody messaged, I always get messages when I turn on my PS4. Why are your PS4 trophies hidden? Why are your PSN trophies hidden? And I'll usually reply back because it messes with people's heads, right? They wonder, what's he doing? Is he really playing these games? Is he doing this? You know what I mean? And it bugs people. I almost like the fact that Microsoft trolls people by not releasing official numbers. I would like to know the number, but I think that it's hilarious that they kind of troll people and don't tell anybody the number. Right. You know what I mean? They're just like, hey, guess what? Xbox Live revenue's up. We have, 9,000, 10,000 more Xbox Live Gold members or whatever. You know what I mean? I like that they're doing that. I think it's really funny. And if it's like people flip out if they don't have a number to compare it to, and I think it's hilarious. I mean, what's your guys' take on this?
I agree. I think it is funny as hell if they don't release it. I mean, I'd like to know personally. I mean, they could tell me, and I'll tell you guys. I won't tell nobody else. But no, I think it's hilarious that they do that. And I mean, even Sony's gotten caught lying about their numbers. Okay, so I mean, we could make up a number, and who knows if you're telling the truth anyway. But I love the fact that they do that because people are really wondering, all right, what's the bottom line? What is it? What is it? Why won't they tell us? Why won't they leak it? Why won't they talk to the press? I think it's great. I think it's funny too. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. It's best to stay and leave it that way. And if they want to talk about their Xbox Live subscriptions, then you could do that, and you could near enough guess through that. Obviously, most of it is on the 360, but I think it's a great idea. Just don't even talk about your numbers like that. I think if they reach to a certain number, like certain hundred, let's just say they reach a certain milestone at 50 million consoles, then just talk about it then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's let people keep guessing for now.
Is that Unravel game available on EA Access tonight or tomorrow?
It is. It's already available. You can download it right now.
I mean, maybe we'll try it tonight. My whole thing with it is that I think it's what's the breakdown? What's the EA Access getting us? It can't be 10 hours. What is it? Is it a couple?
It's 2 levels. You only get a couple levels on that one.
Okay.
But like for most stuff, depending on what it is, you get like 10 hours. Like Battlefront was 10 hours, Madden was 10 hours, and it's like but you get the first 2 levels of that, which is really cool. I think it's only like a $20 game anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think that it's I think that that's kind of cool. I'm gonna try it out. I'm not a big fan, but I'm hoping that what I like is that game reminds me of what would be considered an arcade game.
Yeah.
And because I'm really sick of like the indie kind of boom or whatever. Like I don't really like those. Yeah. But this reminds me of like almost an arcade game, and I'm kind of stoked about that. So I'm gonna try it out.
Crap, you said something funny. I hope people remember this. You said this is like the indie, like the boom that like this is gonna go down. I think in 10 years, like when we watch all those 70s movies that are out, and like for some reason kitchens were done in brown and orange, and we're like, what the fuck were they thinking back then? Like honestly, like think about it, the Brady Bunch counter was orange. Like that's crazy, right? Like you'd never walk into a kitchen right now and be like, "You like my new house? We just built this, and it's orange with brown cabinets." My point is this: I really think in 10 years, 12 years, we're gonna look back between 2013 and maybe like 2019 and be like, "What the fuck were we thinking?" Everybody was really excited about those indies, like and that's it. Really, maybe it's just literally. This has been an opportunity for a lot of the big developers, especially Sony, to sit back and do nothing. They've taken 6 years off. You know what I mean? Everyone's just smoking Cubans and drinking scotch at work because, to be honest with you, there's no work being done at all at Sony except for promoting indie games. And, I mean, you made a good point. If they was go back to making this sound like it was an arcade game and they advertise it that way, this game just jumps a lot higher up for me because it's that arcadey game. Like, do you remember Brothers? From 360.
Yeah.
That was a game that I thought was really good.
I love that game. That was one of my top games that year. It was like very kind of. I was like, I can't believe I like this game. You know what I mean?
I did too. I was shocked, but I mean, the way that they used the dual analog sticks to work together, your thumbs had to work together, and this and that which probably could never work on a DualShock 3. Your thumbs almost touching it. But
Yo, speaking of indies, there was this new one called Cobalt from Mojang.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It's a first party game. I haven't played it yet, but I saw the price of it, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why do I have to pay $20 for this game? Yeah, I could go ahead and buy it, but it just looks like a cell phone game to me. Like, I could pay $10 more, even $5 more, and get a AAA. I just don't understand why a game like that will cost that much. I think games like that should have their certain price point, like no more than 15.
Hey, look at The Witness, right? That game, $40 indie game. $40 for this indie game, and that game was pirated so much on PC that this guy that hates Microsoft, Jonathan Blow, absolutely hates Microsoft. But guess what? He's like, yeah, we're gonna discuss bringing it to Xbox One now. I just absolutely thought that was hilarious. This guy hates Microsoft, hates Xbox, but yeah, wants to bring his game to Xbox One.
If you want to play a game like that, just download Numa Breath of Light. Same type of game. It was available for free at one point. I think it was like November or December. I don't even remember what month. Same kind of game, same concept. You know, first-person puzzler where you just move around shit, get through doors. That's all it is. But this time, you just do it for 40 hours.
Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. You know what I mean? Real quick, we know Phil Spencer doesn't really take shots or anything like that. PSN was down earlier in the week. It happened to be down when the Division beta was up for the last day, so people weren't able to really play that as much or anything like that. I'm sure Sony will like send you a free 2-hour PSN extension or whatever. So generous, always generous.
You notice they didn't. Nobody that was not announced really much anywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's not. It was funny because the way that I found out was through the Kaz Hirai parody account, which is hilarious. What was it? Push Square had tweeted them and was like, we have official confirmation of Sony people working on the servers, and the fake Kaz Hirai chimed in and replied, oh, that's not true because there would be fire back there. So they tweeted another picture. It was like a Simpsons picture where Homer didn't know what to do with the power plant or whatever. So it was really funny. And again, you know, the media will try to cover that up or whatever. If you're going to play an online-only game, go with the Xbox Live. Don't be a cheapskate. You know, come on, give us some kind of analogy, Booch.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm with you on what you're saying, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, just for me, it's interesting because, you know, the Division, obviously top 5 on Amazon for Xbox One ever since the beta, and it still is. You know, I think it's number 3 right now on there. So I think that's a really good sign, and I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's online games like that, or you know, we're getting more and more like that Destiny, Call of Duty. You know, Titanfall. These are online-only games, and you would think that people would use common sense and do that. I got a couple more things I just wanted to talk about real quick, and then we'll go. Did you guys see the Aaron Greenberg interview with Shaggy on IGN?
I watched the first half an hour until I
realized... It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
Thank you. I'm so glad you said. Everyone on Twitter was like, I thought it was great. It was really funny, this and that. And if we could all just be a fly on the wall, and Aaron was talking to somebody after, he would have been like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, you could see he didn't want to be there. And I think after what we're, you know, I really do think Aaron reads our tweets, and I think he hears our shows, and I know he talks to Tim. And you know, I think
he's told me he watched the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it anymore. Actually, Mike Ibarra actually tuned into my podcast on Friday. I was just absolutely like flabbergasted and excited to hear that because Mike's the guy. I mean, I work in a tech business. Mike being the really high-end tech side of stuff, that was pretty exciting. But my point is this. Aaron knows what's going on. He knows the battles that are going on. You know, as some would say, they're ridiculous. Some of them are ridiculous. Some of them are actually well thought out debates. And I think at this point he's seen the media and what's going on there, and he has to go do that. Part of his job is what he did by sitting down with Ryan McCaffrey, a.k.a. Shaggy. And, you know, that was his job. But you can see that even though he had to go there and he did a really good job in doing what he had to do, it was very clear to me, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe he just got done eating lunch and he just wasn't feeling good, but he just didn't look like he wanted to be there. He was answering questions because, he was just answering questions. There was very little excitement out of him because, to be honest with you, that place just resonates. You walk in there and you get slapped in the forehead with a P.S. I love you sticker. You know, it's like you walk in, it's got to be one of the most disrespectful things, being an Xbox guy. That high up, you have a vice president come in, or like you guys all said, not to beat a dead horse, but when Ryan McCaffrey said, to Phil Spencer, the PS4 is a beast. I mean, listen, you watch any political shows, this and that, you never, even if it's not an incumbent, it's somebody who's running, you just give that person utmost respect in their field, especially when you're living. IGN's living is based upon Sony and Microsoft. You know what I mean? So you've got to give them 50% of that credit. And to see that, I was glad Aaron kind of did a really healthy interview, but I sensed a little cold shoulder, and it was well deserved. So good for him.
Yeah, you know what? Like, it was cool. Like, he doesn't look comfortable. Like, that's not his forte, I don't think. I guess Phil has him do some of that, to be a little bit more out there with some of these people. Remember, he was the one. I'm sorry, my throat, guys. My voice changer. But anyway, yeah, he was the one that was like saying he didn't do a lot of interviews. He didn't really like to or whatever. So. Right. I guess it's kind of interesting that I guess Phil has him out there doing some more of this, which is okay. But yeah, it was kind of cool hearing about like the Sea of Thieves stuff. I'm starting to think maybe
what,
that
did
game.
Give you his voice changeover?
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys can't talk at the same time because you're obviously the same person. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yes, we can. Come on, Moose. Let's do it. That's
your gum and pat your head.
No, hey. Well, here's the funny thing.
Did you hear the new one? No, you want to be funny? You want to hear the new one?
Yeah.
I'm Mooch's brother now.
Oh, you're Mooch's. Hey,
I know. Mooch's brother. No, excuse me. Mooch's brother is me.
That's right.
Okay. Well, what's funny is this, right? Like in the chat box, right? People are like, "Crap Gamer doesn't game. He only has like 36 hours on Halo, right?" And I'm like, "Okay." I said I play the stories on Halo. I really like the stories. I'm not so much of the multiplayer guy. I played some of the multiplayer, but I'm always bouncing around. You know what I mean? I've been playing a lot of Smite or Battlefront or what have you. Gears, which nobody can deny. I haven't spent a whole shit ton of time on Gears. But they're like, oh, well, Crap doesn't even play games. He pays somebody to play. I mean, this is the stuff. Like, no matter what you do, it'll never be good enough.
Another good one. Mooch is probably going to laugh his ass off at this one.
Sure.
Hey, Mooch, besides first it was you or me. Then it was, I forgot about this one. I just thought about it before. I'm your brother.
Right.
I was your wife, too.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Nice.
Just missing my aunt and my grandmother.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, the first one I heard, but the others I haven't because, Nancy, you know what? They're all blocked. I don't see any of those people. Because
No, it wasn't I saw them. People sent them to me.
Oh.
People that support me sent it to me and said, "Can you believe this shit? Look what these assholes said." And I didn't want to watch. I said, "So what'd they say?" Because I really don't want to watch what they say or anything like that. Because I'm not going to support them. And they said you were Mooch's, wife. You're his now I'm your brother. Yeah. And all that stuff. Well, I was laughing my ass off. I said, "Come on now."
Yeah. Well, this is why I told you, Nancy. I was like, because you were like, I remember one day you were like, I'll just go on there and I'll show them. It's me. And I'm like, don't do that. Like for those of you that not to get too much into this, I was like, don't do that. Here's why. Then they're gonna have your face. Then it doesn't matter. They'll just take your face, Photoshop it on other shit, and it'll never end. It never ends. It never will.
But Crap, I just said that to see what people would say because I know they were anticipating and they were all gonna fucking watch to see if I really did it.
Yeah, and see, like that shit will never end.
The thing is, Phil sees all this kind of stuff.
It was a troll. It was a troll back to them.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say, Phil can see all this kind of stuff, and at the end of the day, I don't see no Xbox fan do this. I don't see no Nintendo fan do this. It's just the Sony fans who do this, and it's he does. They do it with you, me, Zaire mostly, Tim Dog, and remember the Circle of Life.
Yeah.
They had our faces on the Circle of Life, and I'm like, what the hell, yo? And it's just gonna be that way. And Nancy, if you show your face, they're gonna do the same thing with you.
Oh, I know. I just said it because I wanted to see what people would say. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting for some comments, and believe it or not, see how many people would watch, and there were so many people that watched, to see if I was going to do anything. It was just funny. It was
Well, that
But
whole
nobody.
thing was
Nancy,
ridiculous
according to
anyway.
these Sony fans, we're the ones who are distasteful, not them. It's us,
Yeah,
according to
well,
their logic.
hey, well, guys, check this out, right? Somebody today created a fake Phil Spencer account, like making fun of like suicide and all this other stuff, like interacting with all those terrible people that Photoshop all the gay weirdo stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, really,
Oh crap!
really?
Speaking of that, somebody is trying to even come into um my Twitter page and on the comment sections of other things saying it's me and making comments and putting their name as a Titanfall princess, making a fake account.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, that happens to all of us. I think Mooch has got a bunch of them. I've got a bunch of them. Iron Wolf's got a bunch of them. I mean, we all have. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
they
we
say
all have
like,
to DM each other and say, "Yo, report this
yeah,
guy,
hey,
report
hey,
this
report
guy."
this one, report.
I
Thankfully,
have
they
to,
made it easier to
it's
do.
crap knows. I actually had to report somebody on Xbox Live today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, people are on the internet can
But you know what? I
be
didn't expect it from
assholes.
somebody on Xbox Live. Though. I mean, I know we got some weirdos out there, but crap, like I said, like I tweeted you earlier, I did not expect that to be voiced to me in that way on Xbox Live. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I hear you. You know, like
Yeah.
I've heard worse stuff than that, man. I had somebody on the
What,
360 day on Xbox
okay.
Live said, "Hey, I got a gun, man. You know, I'm gonna come shoot you." All the, you know what I'm saying? It's like you get this stuff all the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, just real quick, I wanted to get back on topic.
Okay.
As we close up, I just want to say, you know, there's an interesting kind of situation right now. We got a lot of stuff going on. The Halo World Championship, the season 3 of Killer Instinct coming up. That looks really phenomenal in my opinion. I've been playing. I was playing season 2 earlier today. You know what? I didn't realize they gave Shadow Jago his own achievements and stuff now because I've had him since launch.
Yeah.
But he didn't have achievements. He was just the same as Jago's achievements. So I was like, holy crap, they gave him his own achievements. So I was going through there getting all those on there. And they've like done a lot of work to that game. It's like it's really phenomenal. I love it. I don't know. I know you play it, Nancy. But
AI is the best fighting game out there right now. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I think it's fantastic. One more thing that I wanted to say, and then we'll go. The Ark Survival Evolved developers today came out and said, hey, we wish Sony had a game preview program like Microsoft. It would make things so much easier. So I checked out this story on M4G, and you would not believe the comments on there, right, that are like, oh, no, just sell us your game when it's done. You know, we don't want to do this. Pay for an alpha. Who does that? You know, I'm thankful Sony doesn't do that. Like, people really say, just like with the Let's Play situation, right? Oh, Sony would never do anything bad. They probably just were trying to do that for marketing rights, right? I mean, just like people just damage control this stuff absolutely, unbelievably.
But you know the other thing when it comes to Sony, you know, Sony ponies and all the people who support Sony, they're so used to getting less. They don't know a good thing if it came up and smacked them across the face one side and knocked it back the other way. They wouldn't even know.
Yeah, and EA Access is a prime example. Like,
there you
they
go.
don't really understand value in that, and they wouldn't even go out and call out Yoshida and say, look, we want this.
Yeah.
You know, and
You know what he'd
I think
say?
more publishers should get on board with it. Like, there should be a Ubisoft club on consoles where you could download some Ubisoft games, like old ones, I'm saying, and give discount on new ones.
I thought EA Access would have sparked something huge, and even though it's great, and I hope it never goes anywhere, it is an amazing value, and I'm not just saying that because it goes against what Sony said. It is a great value. There's no way you can argue plunking down either $5 a month or $30 for the year and tell me that even if you don't care for them, like, come on, there's like 20 games in the vault now, 15 games in the vault. Like, that's insane, and they're all AAAs. So my point is just like, I'm just shocked Ubisoft didn't do it. I thought we would have seen something from maybe, Activision. I don't know. I thought even if they're older games for $2.50 a month, no one's playing or running out to the store to buy them anyways. We all now see with backwards compatibility, remasters are slowing down. I don't know. I thought we would have seen this revolution when we saw how great EA Access was doing, and I don't think we're going to see anybody else do it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Sony, for as much as people, give them props for being open to developers and being friendly to developers and this and that, they sure as hell tell people what to do a lot. You know, they tell gamers, hey, you don't want backwards compatibility, you don't want EA access, you don't want early access, you don't want any of that stuff, right?
Why aren't they friendly to the people that buy it then?
Because they're going to keep making excuses for them. Where you been? That's all they do. They make
Yeah, but EA
excuses.
Access has all these
It was
perks,
actually a
man.
question that really didn't need to be answered. I was just being a smartass. I mean, you know, honestly, I don't know.
But
People are
Sony
just
don't want it. Like,
yeah,
the
I know.
early access, 5 days early access, in fact, early beta access, demos, perks, there's so much things, discounts as well on certain games, and then obviously 15 other games in the vault. Sony don't want that.
Yeah.
They think the fans
Yeah.
don't want that.
No,
Hey,
the fans.
I agree.
The
They're
fans
doing what Nintendo are doing and just trying to be everybody's parent.
Hey,
Well, the thing is, the fans won't even ask for it because they'll be told no.
No.
Yeah, they'll be told no. Well, here's the interesting thing, right? The Sony fans, they'll never admit there's a problem with PS4. I mean, that's just fact. We'll do it all day. Hey, Microsoft screwed up, didn't have any games at the beginning of the year, last year.
We'll tell that.
We admitted that, yep. We complain, no marketing, no custom consoles. We complain all the time.
We
That's how the console grows. They listen to us, we wanted backwards compatibility, they listened. We wanted a better, smoother UI, they listened. We wanted that the gamer score leaderboards back, they listened.
And now they're also working on when you do a live stream that you could talk to the people in the chat. They're working on that too.
They listen. The music thing they'll listen to that as well. So I think that it's they're proving that they actually listen. Sony, on the other hand, they're getting by on good graces of 2013, and eventually that's going to run out. Yeah. So I think it's just up to people to kind of wake up and see what's going on.
Could I just give one more suggestion? This
sure.
is just to Microsoft. The thing I really want, I'm not really a Windows guy. I'm a Mac guy. I would like to have the Xbox app on my iMac. That's one thing I really like to see. Like Mooch, I'm an Apple guy. You're an Apple guy too.
Yeah.
And another thing I would like to see, one more thing I like to see is on this Xbox Smart Glass. I want the ability to actually jump in a party and I could talk to my friends from my cell phone. That
would be awesome.
Suppose I finish work and I see Nancy or Mooch. I'll be like, yo, Nancy, Mooch, I just finished work. Just gonna do the wife and kid thing. Gonna eat. I'll be online in 2 hours, and then leave the party like that.
That would be good with Smart Glass. That's a good idea.
A lot of new ideas, and that's actually one of the first ingenuitive ideas I've heard in a long time. That's actually really good. Why not? I'll be honest with you. And going one step further with the Apple Microsoft thing, I have a Surface Pro and I have an iPad. And the Xbox app works better on the iPad. Like, that's weird. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that to anybody unless you're listening to me and you own both and you're like, holy shit, he's right. You know, I don't know how else to describe it. But Microsoft's got to get in order for their store to be successful, I'm ready to join the community. I'm ready to go into Windows. I wouldn't exactly say I'm ready for Windows Phone. But I'm ready for,
they declared that dead, even though it just got new updates and everything. So
that's fine. Look, if it's not your thing, it's just not your thing. Stick to what works. So I say that all the time when we do these shows. A lot of times you see actors, like a comedian, they're like, I don't want to do, I don't want to be on, like when Friends was a big hit on NBC, and they're all like, I don't want to do Friends. I don't want to get stereotyped. Because they're big. They're getting these big checks. Like, we can do movies. All of a sudden, Matt LeBlanc's making a monkey baseball movie, and David Schwimmer did something about, like, breast implants on HBO. Listen, my point is like, their careers were terrible after Friends. If you're not good at, you're good at making PC software, okay, and you're making a hell of a console, and you're doing all these other things and acquiring these other big companies and thriving in them. Do what makes your strength. Don't go do something because there's a cool niche market over there. You could lose your shirt. So, I mean, realistically, Microsoft their Surfaces. We said at the beginning of the podcast, their Surfaces are kicking ass. So, like, stick to the tablets. Be that tablet PC, tablet laptop. You're the only one in the game, really. Who wants? I don't know. I'm not a huge Hewlett Packard person, but I mean, like, I would say, I would buy the new Surface Pro 4. Over a Hewlett Packard it's a half and half. So stick to your guns, and I think Microsoft has got something good and good idea, Wolf, with that, man. Definitely to be able to go onto your smart glass, hit your friends, and when you hit your friend, one of the options is actually to not, however you want to put it, dial into their chat. That would be really cool. I don't know how it would be done. That's not my job, but I would definitely use it.
Yeah. Hey, Mooch, soccer cars coming out sometime in February.
I'm excited. Very excited about that. I see. Listen, I will say this much. You got to admit this, right, Crap? I could have swore that would have just been a dead as a doornail. But apparently, I don't know. We'll have to wait till it launches. It does seem like, well, it's mainly Xbox Mad. Shout out to Xbox Mad. But it's mainly them advertising it. But there's a couple of outlets that keep on saying, hey, don't forget this is coming to Xbox One. Personally, I can give two shits. We all know that. There's no secret there, but
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm the same exact way, dude.
Well, we have better content though. We're gonna have like Sunset Overdrive content, the Halo and Gears. You know,
Yeah, I mean that stuff is cool. I don't know. Like to me, they should have done like what they did on PS4 if they wanted people to actually play it and give it away as Game with Gold.
Yeah.
It sure would have beat the shit stuff that they put out for this month.
I definitely would get it, day one if it was a Games with Gold just to try it out. I can't see, look at, it's not about not having it, not wanting to. $20, especially when it's coming out. Division's coming out. 4 weeks later, you got Quantum Break. I'm going to be playing starting next Tuesday for the majority of the rest of February. I'm going to be playing Dying Light the following. That's a huge DLC. Where do I have time to sit around and hit a car and a bumper and a soccer ball with a Fizzy logo? I don't know.
You know you want to play bumper cars. Come on, Lou.
I'm just gonna make one quick prediction.
About it. I heard you raving about it. I heard you.
What's your prediction, Wolf?
Yeah, I just want to make one quick prediction. Games with Gold in March, you're going to get Alan Wake as backwards compatible. So it'll be downloadable on the Xbox One. But I would hope that we still see a remaster. But if we don't see that, then this is what we're going to get.
I'll second that, but I'm going to also agree with you. I hope that doesn't happen. I'd rather get a remake versus.
I want to get a remake, but I just think if we don't get a remake, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, even if we get it back
before Quantum Break, it will make sense. Let everybody download it. It'll be free, so no one's losing any money by any means. So it'll make sense.
Absolutely.
They could. I could see that. You guys want to plug anything before we go?
I would like to.
You're gonna give shout outs, right?
Well, not only that.
Okay.
Not only that. Let me finish, Crap. Give me a chance, okay?
Let me finish. Oh, that was somebody else. I kicked that guy out of the podcast, according to the internet.
No, I am going to do 2 quick shout-outs, but I'm going to do more than that. I want to shout out once again to Foxfire and Wrath93.
What's up, Foxfire?
And I also want to thank, all my Twitter followers and my subscribers because they have now been joining us here on watching the podcast. They all ask me when it is. And I also want to tell everybody to please follow my guys here. Follow Crap, Mooch, and Iron Wolf. They got some good channels. Mooch and Iron Wolf also have their own podcast. Check them out. And these guys are great. So if you don't already follow them, which I know some of you do, check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that. What about you, Wolf? You got anything? Got an update?
Let Mooch say something.
Okay, what do you got, Mooch? What do you got? Crossfire coming up?
Crossfire 6 o'clock Friday night. Definitely going to do something. I have yet to get my surprise. I like to have one person on that actually someone's like, holy shit, I can't believe that person actually came on.
That was me last week.
That was
Crap. Crap Gamer. He's on the channel.
It's something where like I try to bring somebody on that also like Crap. You did come on. We shout out to Xbox 448. We brought him on, and he's definitely pro Xbox. But sometimes I like to bring on somebody who's like a 50-50 guy and kind of get their opinion on certain things. Hence the term Crossfire. And I like a good debate. So I mean that's the typical thought process of the show. So definitely tune in Friday 6 p.m. And then Crap, we're gonna have to talk to Zaire and Showstopper and Tim Dog because I'm sure we're gonna be rescheduling BGST with the Super Bowl occurring. So. We're probably
that's maybe we'll do it earlier in the day. I don't know.
Either earlier in the day would work or Monday night. We'll talk about it, but it's something at least I know a lot of people that watch your show are also BGST fans.
I think we did it on the Super Bowl last year. We had a pretty good audience. Like people like snapped it and stuff. That's a good thing about Xbox One.
To be honest, I have.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
All right. I just want to thank everybody here on the panel, who's always on point with everything you say. And I just want to give a shout out to Blazing Phoenix. Now,
what's that dude been up to, man? I haven't seen him.
Oh well, I heard that he's moving and everything like that. I think Showstopper's spoken to him, and
Showstopper, they both fall off in the third dimension or something, right? I haven't heard from either of those dudes.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, they both need to come back. They both need to come back.
They're working extra hours, and Blaze is moving and everything like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
cool.
community misses your content, man. So I know you found your new Japanese wife. That's understandable. But there's always room for you, in these
Did he
shows.
keep it? Did she keep it Xbox?
Well, I hope she does. Knowing that she's Japanese, I hope she keeps her Xbox.
Oh, he's been
And
waiting all day.
and I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We hit something like 3:30, 3:40 during the peak of this, and that's really good for a Wednesday night. We appreciate you guys. It's always been kind of really fun, like doing these. Like hopefully it's fun for the people in the panel and that watch, because it's no fun if you guys, oh man, I gotta do another podcast. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I can admit, like if you do a bunch of them in a row, that this can be a little bit odd.
I
But,
like coming on just to mess with you, Mooch. I mean, Crap.
Oh, I know.
And tonight I got Mooch, so that was fun.
Yeah.
I got a double dip tonight. I got both of you tonight.
That's cool.
Clearly, Nancy has had a few drinks tonight. So, yeah. We'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys later, man. Thanks for watching. Ragamon.